You know, I've never considered myself to be the sharpest crayon in the box, but maybe not the dullest one either. But I have made a few errors in my life. A few. Um, I look back at my growing up, I wasn't the worst student in school. I wasn't the best either. I went in the Marines, and I probably wasn't the best Marine, but I wasn't the worst either. I did good. Good appraisal marks. I went to work for the Sheriff's Department. Did good. When I left there, they didn't want me to leave. Even called a few times, want me to come back. So I knew I must have been making some good decisions when I was there. Thinking out of the box. Well, the school wanted me. I went to school. My high school principal is the one that hired me to teach. So that must have meant, you listening? Are you listening? You pay attention. That must have meant I wasn't so bad. When I got ready to retire from the school, the principal come, don't retire, stay with us, don't retire. You're too young. Yeah, I didn't feel young. I kept driving a bus when I left there. They come to my house, want me to come back and drive a bus for them. Come to my front porch. Come on back. We'd love to have you come back, kind of set your own whatever, work with you. I don't want to come back. I'm tired. I'm tired. Don't y'all start. I'm right here. Hang on. Hang on. In saying all this, to make such a bonehead decision, it's beyond me why I did it. It's partly Lester's fault. Lester was young. He had fresh brain cells, and he agreed to it. He agreed. So G couldn't just blame me by myself. It took two of us to do what we did. I got the blame. So I'm going to tell you the story. And I hope you can look past it and say, well, that man's an idiot. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Our fur business didn't pan out. The raccoon, now we released him the very day he let through others. Our fur farm go when he made that hole. Well, we let him go too. So we had to go back to square one. We knew a lot about fur. We knew a lot about trapping. We'd trapped for years. A lot of folks don't like that stuff, but we did. It's just something we did. I'm sorry. It was something we did. And I don't know you folks know this or not. There's an art to trapping. I'm serious. You don't just go out there and set a trap on the ground and think you're going to catch something. There's an art to it. And it can be quite a chore to do it right. Now, raccoons bring so much money for their pelts. Okay, that's fine. Fox bring a lot more. Coyotes bring a lot more. Bobcat brings a lot more. But these guys are harder to catch. They are. They're harder to catch. I hope y'all can hear that wind's blowing. I didn't bring my little microphone with me. The wind wasn't blowing until just now. So I'll be sure to wait for a second, okay? You guys that don't know a lot about trapping, you can... Stop it! Zippy, please. you can get into it as deep as you need to catch what you need to catch. There are people, and you may not be aware of this, that raise some of these animals I just mentioned for their urine. Yeah. Whoa, Papa, what's that about? Well, they must have some system where they are able to trays or something under their cages so they can collect this urine. I'm serious. And you can buy it off these trapping magazines and stuff, these different people. They'll have fox urine, coyote urine, bobcat. They even have skunk musk. How many of you folks know anything about a skunk? Besides just reading about, what's that little skunk's name? Pee-Pee LaPoo or something like that. Whatever, I don't know what his name was. Y'all remember him? Anyway. I have no idea how they collect that. Now, you can buy things that's collected from beavers and stuff, depending on what you're trapping. And I'm going to give a quick little rundown on it. You can buy some of this different kinds of urine if that's what you're trapping for, and you set your bait, set your trap, and you squirt in that squirt bottle. You don't want to handle it with your hands because you're going to smell bad around it. And that type of animal in the woods will usually come to that. Now, they're attracted by thinking there's a new animal in the woods like them, curiosity or what, I'm not for sure. But I also know that if you end up catching a skunk and they spray around that trap, you're almost, not every time, but almost guaranteed to catch a coyote or a fox. It's just the curiosity gets too much for them and they'll come to it. But skunk musk is expensive, and it comes in a little small bottle. I mean, you just get your trap set, your bait set, and you dribble a couple of drops. You don't want to touch it, around that set. And it smells, skunks, if you don't know, polecats, skunks, whatever you want to call them, stink bad. They'll make you throw up. I remember, boy growing up, my dad had big cornfields all up there where everybody lives now, big cornfields. And my brother and I would take the dogs out at night through the cornfields to make sure all the raccoons was chased out and wild hogs was chased off, because they would tear up a lot of the crop, and that's what we fed our animals. And one particular night, the dogs started barking down at the end of the road, and we running. If you've never been into a cornfield, I'm telling you, you can't see ahead of you because these leaves are hanging out in front of you and on both sides. You're just running and trying to shovel back as you go. You can't see ahead of you. We run right up on top of this skunk, and he heard us coming because he was ready. He had his little gun aimed at us, and we come up on him. He sprayed the nastiest old yellow mustard looking juicy type nasty smelling stuff just all over us. Our mom, we gagged and puked, throwing up. It was horrible, folks, horrible. My mom smelled us coming, locked the door, put some soap out on the back patio on the back porch, told us through the door, take those clothes off, pile them in a pile, I'm gonna burn them. You go out there, the water hose, this soap, and y'all scrub. You're not coming to this house smelling like that. And folks, I'm gonna tell you what, we scrubbed so much that our skin was raw, trying to get that smell off. And you can't get it all off. You get some of it off. And then we finally got to come in, we had to go back right onto the bathtub and do some more. But anyway, so it's a horrible smell, but you can attract animals when you do it, when you use it. Well, Lester and I think, hey, there's skunks all over these woods. We could just catch us a skunk. We won't have to buy that stuff. It's expensive. We'll just catch us a skunk. It made sense. Now, I don't know if I and Lester come up with that idea or I come up with it, but we both agreed to it. So if I was a bonehead, so was he, or vice versa. We didn't discuss it with Gigi because she don't know nothing about trapping. What would she know? She don't know nothing about skunks. Well, may know about She knows about skunks now. So sure enough, we set a little box trap. We know where to go. We know how to read sign. We know where they're coming. We can read tracks. Even as young as he was, he could read sign and tell where different animals are coming and going. So we set us a little box trap where we know a skunk's going to come. He's going to come here. And sure enough, first night or two, we caught him. Nice little guy, just as sweet as he could be. And Lester comes running and said, Dad, we got a skunk. I said, shh, let's go. We take off. We go down there and sure enough, that little skunk walking back and forth in that little box trap. Walking back and forth. Stop it. Back and forth. I said, let's get us a little tarp or something to lay over him so he don't get upset with us. And we'll move him up to our cage. We had a cage ready for him, a good cage with no holes in it. And we do, and he's no problems. We get up to the cage, we open the little trap door, and he goes right on in that cage, guys. We got cat food and stuff in there, dog food, I forget which was, and water, little nest box, perfect little house. This little guy gonna live in high cotton. He gonna be in high cotton. So now we can really start getting into our trapping season. We know now we've got it. We ain't gotta buy that stuff. We ain't gotta spend our money on a little bottle of stuff. We got a producer right here. This guy's gonna produce all we ever need. Because I'm sure when he sprays out some, he's gonna have more, his little body gonna build more, you know, that's how it works. So, our plan is to go set our traps. Then we're gonna come back, we're gonna get him. Now we hadn't thought far enough really, I guess, how we're gonna do this. But we knew how to set our traps, we went and set them. Now all we gotta do is get him and go to each set, and just let him spray a little bit, just a little bit, not much. We don't want to wear him out. And then we'll bring him back, put him back in his little cage for the next time. And we're seeing fox and coyotes in every trap. I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing the money coming in. You talking about a good Christmas. We're going to have a good Christmas that year. We're going to have money. We're going to have pelts hanging on the walls. That little skunk's going to make it all happen. It's going to make it all happen. So we built us a little snare. It's a little pipe, hollow pipe with a cable comes through it and it loops around and hooks on it with a clamp, water hose clamp. And it goes through that pipe. You got a handle on one end. You just put it around his little neck, not choke him, just put it snug, and we're just going to walk him along. Made sense. Like a little stroll. We're going to stroll down through the woods. And we get to the point we need him to spray, we'll kind of upset him a little bit. It's kind of, you know, shake him around a little bit, and he'll spray the ground. Then we'll walk to the next trap. I'm trying to tell a story, thank you. That's my phone. It's my phone. I cannot tell a story with this going on. You need to go on. You need to go on, I'm serious. People come along and try to interfere with my story. Baby, I'm serious about this, okay? It's not about you. It's about skunks. Okay. So we go to the cage, and I don't think Jean knows we got a skunk yet. Stop! Push my table. But she's about to find out. Open the little door. He's looking at us. Cute little face, little beady eyes. Cute little guy. I don't think we ever named him. We may have. Shortly we're going to have a new name for him. I can tell you that right now. Even little old Lester is going to be thinking up bad names of this guy. We put the little snare around his neck. We don't even get him out of the cage, guys, and now he's upset. He's upset. We're removing him from his little house. He sprays us. He sprays that house. He sprays the yard. He sprays the chickens as they run by. So then you had that odor going all around the chicken yard. On every chicken was sprayed. Every dog was sprayed. We were sprayed. It was horrible. I'm telling you, it was a horrible thing. And she come flying out to me. What is going on out here? And then she sees what we're doing. We got a tiger by the tail. Actually, we got a skunk by the neck. We don't know how to get loose. Well, I finally got the snare off of him, and he takes off down the trail, looking back, laughing. It's a true story, and I got blamed for it, and I don't think it's right that I had to take the blame by myself. But people have asked when I've told the story before, what was you thinking, Papa? What was you thinking? Well, that ain't the exact words she said. It's a little bit more colorful. More colorful. I think she threatened to take the kids away from me. I don't like that in my ears, thank you. You're not my type. Well, you are kind of my type too. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so that's a story of a boneheaded thing that I did. I admit it. And you're probably the first group of folks I've ever told. I've told this to some close friends, and lots of different remarks I've got from them. How stupid I was, what a bonehead I was, what a idiot I was. And I tried to explain it's not all my fault. Lester agreed to it, and he had, like I say, the young brain cells still thinking good. Mine had been kind of thought out. You know, I'd stop it, Kippy. She comes up and does stuff, and I call her Kippy, and her name's Zippy, because Kippy's sitting here by my feet. Anyway, I'm sorry, Kippy. No, you, Zippy, you go on. So anyway, folks, that's that story. It's comical, unless you're on the end where you get sprayed by a skunk. Now, if you don't know a lot about skunks, I can't describe the smell. They spray a mustard-colored, slimy, juicy, nasty, smelling, horrible spray. And they can spray it, I bet you, 10 or 15 feet. I mean, they can spray it out there. You can spray that tree from here. I guarantee you they could. And if it hits you, you're done. You're not going to just wash it off. People have said, oh, you can use tomato juice and stuff. That's bull. I've tried it. But anyway, that was our story, and so we decided if we're going to use skunk musk from that point on, we'll just have to buy it. I hope you enjoyed the story. A true story. True story, guys. I love you guys. And that's thinking way past the box. Way past the box. Catch you guys later.